Hello, everyone. I'm David Bowders, CEO of TradeHounds, and I'm joined today by Anna Franco. Anna is the head of strategy and product management for Siemens. Welcome, Anna.
Thank you for having me.
So tell us a little bit about what you do for Siemens and in that role of strategy and product management.
Sure. I've been with Siemens for 13 years, and I had the strategy and product management, as you said, and we really are in charge of looking at the portfolio for electrical products and then really staying in tune with the needs of both our customers, the market, and our competitors.
So as you think about what's going on in the market, there's a lot of innovation. There's a lot of just demand in the marketplace for more electricity, for more energy, for more systems. How is that playing out in the portfolio you're involved in?
Earlier this year, we launched Inhab, which is short for Intelligent Habitat. And this was a real need at addressing smart home energy management. Now, what does that mean, right? Because it's not so much about the homeowner or the consumer wanting some sort of remote control or smart capability to, let's say, a breaker or a load center in their home. As far as they're concerned, they don't really want to think about that. This is truly about the demand and the increasing need for our homes, right? So there's two challenges we're trying to solve. Number one is the load side, right? So a home is seeing more electrical demand than ever. And if you look at the traditional home that was constructed in the US, it's not meeting. It's quickly encroaching on the capacity, electrical capacity of that demand. On the other hand, depending on where you are in the country, you may be dealing with different power sources other than utility, whether it's a backup generator, solar, and even your car is becoming another source of energy. And when you look at all those sources, you need something that helps you manage that. So you got on one side, the power source side, and on the other hand, the load side. And that's become a real challenge for the homeowner because most are not realizing what that means in terms of cost. And this is really kind of the bottom line with smart home energy management, if you ask me. It's about how do we enable both for the homeowner of existing homes and infrastructure, as well as those home builders that are thinking about building new homes, the capability to really enable greater loads, multiple power sources without encroaching on the cost of that home.
Yeah, we know affordability is a significant issue. Record low levels right now of home ownership in certain parts of the population.
Yeah, the homeowner doesn't want to have to build, a 400 amp home, right, with capacity for a home. They want to stay at the average, which is 200. But how can you enable that greater capacity without necessarily investing in the cost of that?
Interesting. So what are you looking to accomplish at this moment in time in terms of connecting with people and building awareness?
Yeah, so we have 3 products out right now through our portfolio. And what we're trying to solve is 3 things. How do we let you become a more knowledgeable consumer? So for that, we're offering an Inhab energy monitor. And this is really about you knowing what's happening in your home. And so how is energy consumed the most? I got a $400 bill earlier this summer for my home, which is a lot for me. The first thing I went was actually in my energy monitor and checked to say what was consuming the most. And no surprisingly, it was my AC. And you know what? That made me more conscious than my husband and I to say, you know what? We're going to be a little bit more frugal the next few months. And sure enough, the bill did go down. And that was just purely through, becoming a more knowledgeable user. Another product that we're enabling is an Inhab load manager. And this one's really about you having the ability to control your power and whatever great load you may have. So what do I mean by that? The typical scenario that we'll give is a lot of homeowners may be buying an EV vehicle. So you buy the car, of course you buy a charger, and then you get home and you call your electrician and then you say, hey, I need this installed.
This is where the surprises come.
Right. And then you're like, wait a minute, your electrician just told you that you're tapped out. You actually don't have either the physical space or the capacity to add on and wire that charger. So then he tells you, well, you're looking at about another $5,000 to $10,000 just to upgrade your panel. And oh, by the way, that's if you don't have to call your utility line and say, I need actually a greater up service, which that could run you in the $10,000 to $15,000, right? And that's a real problem, right? We've heard so many of those stories told about what that need. And so come in a load manager that takes the ability to take that big source, which is in this case your charger or your EV vehicle, and then decide, okay, how much is the home consuming? do that based on monitoring the power in your home. If you're below that threshold, you say, hey, you're good. We're going to charge that car all day in, day out. But the minute you start encroaching on that capacity, you have a party at home, it's Thanksgiving, and you have a ton of gas, everything's running at its maximum, you're like, wait a minute, you're already kind of encroaching. I'm going to deprioritize that large load, in this case, the EV charger, and then allow you to prioritize your critical home. And then, hey, the guests are leaving, everything is good. Automatically, without you seamlessly knowing, pick up that load again and charge your car. And all that without you having to upgrade the infrastructure of your home.
That's pretty amazing, really. I mean, if you think about how the savings it'll create for homeowners, and also the opportunities it'll create for electricians to be able to
absolutely
have better conversations with their customers. Are there other products?
Yeah, and our last one is really what we're thinking about, a more modular solution. So today you have, for lack of a better term, dumb breakers in your home, right? They're thermomagnetic in nature. They're there to provide a safety function. But let's say you want to provide both the energy monitor, the intelligence of that, right? Understand how that's consuming, and you want to be able to control that to throttle maybe some loads or some sources in your home. Well, you don't have to upgrade your entire panel to do that. You can go modular by only selecting the breakers that you want to monitor specifically. So this is the ability to turn dumb breakers into smart breakers, and by therefore enabling the homeowner to have both that energy insight as well as that controllability that we talked about.
So what percent of the breaker box do you think will switch to being that type of smart breaker?
You know, we estimate that most homeowners will probably want to have 3 to 4 of those loads smartly upgraded, and those usually are going to be those bigger loads, right? Because those are the ones that you either want to draw more insight into or want to truly control, whether it may be, an AC unit, an appliance. And so we're seeing some really cool use cases in which you're able to not just understand the status of an appliance in your home, maybe a dumb appliance that you can actually kind of turn it into a smart appliance by simply knowing if it's consuming energy or if it's being controlled, controlling it remotely. And so that's kind of the benefit of that.
Sounds like a lot of amazing innovation that just needs more people to know about
Yes.
it and move forward with it.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you, Anna. It's been great to spend time with you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.